Welcome back, everybody. So, today on Facebook, Andrew Taylor asked a really cool question ahead of this very first Overpower Modern Regional tournament. The question that he asked was, what do we think people are going to be playing? Because we don't have a meta right now, so everything is up in the air, and each group might have a different idea of what's going to be coming up. So who do I think we're going to see out there the most? Let's take a look at this by the icon type. And to start off, we're going to be looking at Ra. Now, Ra is obviously very incredible. He's got an 8 energy for only 20 threat, and he's got a bunch of really cool advanced universe cards that give his team some incredible bonuses. So I think that this is going to be the energy character that we're going to see a ton of, just because he's so much more playable than Zeus. For combat, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Zoro. Now, Zoro is obviously really incredible. First of all, he's got this great artwork. He's got 8 combat for another 20 points, so makes him more accessible than Leonidas and Sun Wukong for the 8s. But I also think that he's just got a whole bunch of great venture manipulation cards in his stack. A very impressive character. For a brute force, the half man, half god, you named it, it's Hercules. What a cool card. He's got all the stats you can want, and then he's got all the special cards too, because even his 4 lets you do some crazy stuff that they kind of need to block a 4. That's a remainder of game effect right there, guys. That's not just for remainder of battle. He's got his 6, which is nice. He's got a straight up avoid. He's got his 7 that can go to himself or others. He's got one of Ra's least favorite cards, and of course he's got the 9. Like, what more could you want from a brute force character? And then finally, last but not least, intelligence. I've enjoyed playing with the Professor. He's got his -10 to venture. If you looked at the old legacy stuff, usually -6 is what happens. Nope, this guy's taking it to the next level. He's also got a whole bunch of deck manipulation that are just going to set you up for success. He's just going to be a great addition to everyone's team. So I think that those 4 are going to be all over the place. Alright, so let's shuffle these guys off to the side. We know that we're going to be seeing a lot of them in the tournament. I thought another cool thing that Andrew did was to break this out by the threat level of the characters. Now, we have 4 16-pointers. We've got Angry Mob, we've got Jane Porter, we've got Mr. Hyde, and last but not least, we've got man himself, Dr. Watson. Now, these are all fantastic in their own right, but I think overall we're going to be seeing a lot of Dr. Watson, so he's going to be my 16-point choice. I think we're going to be seeing the least of Mr. Hyde. Very cool, beats up on other low B characters, which we know that there's going to be a lot of, even hitting the reserve with a lot of things, but I think he's just not going to come up as much. Of these 4, Jane Porter's my favorite. She's just got so much. Alright, we've only got 3 17-point characters. Korak, Invisible Man, and Billy the Kid. Yep, just these 3. It's kind of crazy, to be honest. I wish we had more 17-point characters because it gives you a lot more options. So I think Korak is going to take the spot. Invisible Man has got some really cool things, but right now I think he's the only one who's got the hidden hits type of thing. So I just don't think we're going to see much of him. I think Billy's going to show up in a lot of decks too, but that's only for the combat ones. My favorite, I guess it's going to be Korak as well. I used to not like any of the ERB characters, both Space Martians or Jungle Folk, but they're growing on me. They're definitely useful cards, so Korak's my favorite 17. 18-point characters, we have a lot of those, and that's awesome. We're going to see Mina Harker. I mean, how can you say no? This one is not even her best artwork. Just incredible character, does so much. Also from reserve, like we're going to be seeing a lot of Mina in decks. I think the character that we're going to be seeing the least of for 18 is Angry Mob, Industrial Age. You can almost do the same things with the 16-point Angry Mob. His 1 per deck is worse than the 7 multi that the Middle Age Angry Mob can throw. If you're running a Brute Force deck, why not just spend the extra 2 points and run the Modern Age guy who's got an 8 to back up your Hercules or Cthulhu? I don't think we're going to be seeing too many Industrial Agers. Ta-da! Everything's moved around. Alright, 19-point characters. Again, we got a good number of these, so I'm not going to pull them all out. But I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock, he's got that 8. He's got a whole bunch of negates on his side. He's got a great 4 multi-attack. He's got his Irene Adler, which is going to trigger Baker Street. Just a good character that does not bring a lot of offense, but he can just kind of mess with you. The character we're not going to see a lot of is going to be the Sea God Poseidon. But his mill just does not do it enough in this format. Alright, my favorite 19-point character is going to be Wicked Witch. She's got an 8 energy. She is versatile, got a couple of big attacks, got her shift move. Just a very cool character and very affordable. Moving on up to the 20-pointers. This one was tough because I can see a lot of different ways that it can go, but everyone has talked about him since the start. Count of Monte Cristo can go in a lot of different decks, both combat or intelligence. Almost every one of his cards is a 2 or 3 for 1. Just incredible character. Least common, I think, is going to be Tars Tarkas. Now, oops, I got this backwards. Tars Tarkas is, again, I did not like him to begin with, but he's got 3 different 6s. He's got destroyed 2 place cards. He's got a bunch of solid things, but I just don't think that he's able to compete with your other 20-point combat characters. You got Van Helsing if you need your negate. You've got 3 Musketeers. There's just so much out there, and I think Tars is just going to be left holding the bag. But my favorite of the 20-point characters, again, a difficult choice, but we have to go with the King. His 7, his 9, his avoids. Alright, moving on. 21 points, criminally underused. We've only got Merlin or Leonidas. There's too few really to make any sort of ranking there. Favorite would be a nod to Leonidas, though. For 22-plus point characters, we've got, of course, Zeus. We've got Hercules. We've got Cthulhu. And the monkey god, Sun Wukong. And, lest I forget, there's Dracula here too. So 4 22-pointers, 1 23-pointer, a lot of really good characters, but I think that we're going to be seeing the most of Hercules. Zeus is so good, but it costs so much. Sun Wukong, honestly, I love Leonidas so much more than Sun Wukong, so unless you're planning to lose some venture, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of him. He's a massive 8. Cthulhu's cool, but he just doesn't have Hercules' bluntness. But I think we're going to be seeing the least of Dracula. I know that there's a lot of history with Dracula, but I don't think teamworks are quite as big of a thing here comparatively. So we're just not going to be running up with him when you've got so many other great, 8-stat options like Professor, like Sherlock, and then all the kind of the backups. My favorite, though, is going to be Cthulhu. I love the idea of sacrificing the teammates. I love all the reserve stuff. A 22-point reserve character absolutely can be played from the front line, too. It's just so many options, very thematic, Very cool card. So that's my predictions for who's going to be here, my predictions for who's not going to be here, my predictions for the most common of each different icon. Alright, so we'll see what I got right and what I got wrong in less than a week now. Thanks for watching, guys. Love to hear your thoughts. And if you don't want to tip your hand before the tournament, don't. Go ahead and post it. Come next Monday once everything is all said and done for. That way you can compare and see how right you were after the fact. Alright, thanks all. Bye.